हाय स्टूडेंट्स, हाउ आर यू? बच्चे कैसे हैं बच्चे? 24 மணி நேரம் படிக்கிறீங்களா? சந்தோஷம் இல்லையா? So today I going to discuss video number 3, lecture number 3, that is inheritance of one gene. So inheritance of one gene, this is also called monohybrid cross. Inheritance of one gene, or this is also called monohybrid cross. With monohybrid cross, Mendel explained how the characters transferred from parents to the progeny, that is called monohybrid cross. So this I going to discuss today, inheritance of one gene, and the second one is concept of factor, concept of gene, concept of alleles, and Punnett square method. So these topics I will cover in this lecture. So first I going to discuss about that is inheritance of one gene or monohybrid cross. So what is the meaning of inheritance of one gene? So Mendel taken, so monohybrid cross means the cross between two parents differing in the cross between two parents differing in one pair of contrasting characters. Okay, so the cross between two parents differing in one pair of contrasting characters, that is called monohybrid cross or inheritance of one gene. So in this cross, Mendel taken so two plants. So this is capital T parental generation. So capital T and another plant is small t. So capital T that is indicating with, so capital T. So one parent is male parent and another parent is female parent. Okay, so male parent will produce as gametes. How the gametes produced by the organism? The gametes produced by the organism by the process of the meiosis. So the meiosis leads to the formation of the gamete. So one gamete is capital T, and meiosis will produce small gamete, and another one is small t. So capital T and small t. So this is the gametes. So the gametes produced by capital T, these two gametes, if you see, these two gametes is fused together in F1 generation. In F1 generation, capital T is fusing with small t. So capital T is fusing with small t in F1 generation. So it leads to the formation of capital T and small t. Okay, so this is the progeny. So what is F1 progeny genotypic combination? The F1 progeny genotypic combination is capital T, small t. So capital T and small t, this is the genotypic combination of the F1 generation. So then take capital T, small t in one side and another side, this is the gametes. I am writing gametes here. So in this gametes, capital T, so this is the male gamete and this is the female gametes. So what is the male gametes in this cross? So the arrow symbol indicating the male gametes. So male gametes I have written on the top side. Okay, and female gametes I have written on the left side. So this is the left column. So I have written female gametes in the left column. So what is the female gamete? Capital T, small t is the female gamete, and small t, this capital T is female gamete, small t is a female gamete. So once I need to check the camera. Okay. So see here, this is the capital T is the one male gamete and small t is the one male gamete. So during the cross, in first capital T, the second one is capital T, small t, and the third one is capital T, small t, fourth one is small t. So this is the gametes. So totally how many gametes? The male parent produces 2 gametes and female parents produces 2 gametes. So and it produces 4 progeny. So what is the progeny in this cross? See here. So 1 capital T and 2 capital T small t and 1 small t. So this is the called this plants. So this is called 1:2, 2:1. So means this is called genotypic ratio. Genotypic ratio. So what is the genotypic ratio? 1:2:1. What is the meaning of 1:2:1? So 1:2:1 means that is 1 capital T, 2 capital T small t and 1 small t. That is called genotypic ratio. That is called genotypic ratio. Capital T 1:2:1. In that 1 capital T and 2 capital T small t, 1 small t. That is genotypic ratio. So and another one is called phenotypic ratio. So capital T and capital T small t both have same height. Both have same height. Okay, so capital T, small t both have same height. Means same height means physical appearance or morphological character of the plant is same. So because of that, the phenotypic ratio of this monohybrid cross is 3:1 or 1:3. We can write anything like 3:1 means suppose 3 plants are tall plants and 1 plant is dwarf. So according to the physical appearance, so all the 3 plants having a same height. Suppose I will write here, so capital T comma capital T small t both have same height. Both have same height. So when the both have same height, so when the capital T and capital T small t both have same height. So during this time what happens? So capital T small t, so both have a same height. How many capital T plants is produced in this cross? 1 capital T. So how many capital T small t plants produced in this cross? 1 and this 2. Okay, so that is this one and this one. So 2 plants. So totally how many plants is tall? Tall plants are 3. So and another plant. So this plant is there. This is completely dwarf plant. So this plant, small t is the dwarf plant. Small t is the dwarf plant. So dwarf plant is only one. What is the dwarf plant? Dwarf plant. So how many dwarf plants is present? 1 dwarf plant. So like the dwarf plant genotypic composition. So which kind of alleles is present in a dwarf plant? To small t. So how many plants having this combination? Only 1. So because dwarf plant is 1, tall plants is 3. So because of that, the phenotypic ratio of the inheritance of one gene or monohybrid cross is 3:1. So then the dihybrid cross, the monohybrid cross genotypic ratio is genotypic ratio. So already in last class we discussed difference between the genotype and phenotype. So phenotype means morphological appearance or physical appearance of the plant is called phenotype. Genotype means that is genetic constitution or genetic makeup or genetic composition of the plant is called genotype. So genotype is 1:2:1. So capital T is 1 plant, capital T small t is 2, small t is 1. So based on genetic composition or genetic makeup or genetic constitution, the genotypic ratio is 1:2:1 and phenotypic ratio is 3:1. So this is the inheritance of one gene or monohybrid cross. So the definition for the monohybrid cross, that is the cross between two parents differing in one pair of contrasting characters, that is called monohybrid cross. So in monohybrid cross, one parent having a capital T combination and another parent having a capital T small t combination. So the capital T parent will produce as gametes. All the gametes contains capital T. And small t plant will produce as gametes. So all the gametes contains small t. So during the fertilization, the male gamete is fusing with female gamete and it will produce as the progeny. So the progeny contains capital T small t combination. So the progeny is self crossed, self pollinated or self crossed. So it leads to the production of two gametes, capital T small t from one parent and capital T small t from the another parent. So this is the progeny. So 4 progeny is produced. Okay, so in this 4 progeny, so one progeny having a capital T combination and one progeny having a small t combination and 2 progeny having a capital T small t combination, capital T small t combination. So these two progeny, 1 and 2, these 2 progeny having a capital T small t combination. So totally the genotypic ratio is 1:2:1 and both have so genotypic ratio means based on the type of the allele. See, capital T, one plant, capital T small t, 1 and 2, 2 plants, small t, 1 plant. So the genotypic ratio is 1:2:1. Then both have same height. So capital T and capital T small t both have the same height. So because of that based on the physical appearance, the phenotypic ratio is 1:3. Otherwise 1:3 or 3:1. So the phenotypic ratio is 1:3 or 3:1. That is 3 tall plants, 1 dwarf plant. Okay, so this is about genotypic ratio and phenotypic ratio and monohybrid cross or inheritance of the one gene. So see, tall plant's height. What is the height of the tall plant? So tall plant height is 6 to 7 feet. Tall plant height is 6 to 7 feet, the height of the tall plant. And the dwarf plant height is very less. Like a human beings, the tall plant height is 6 to 7 feet. And what is the dwarf plant height? So dwarf plant height is 0.75 to 1 feet. Dwarf plant. So dwarf plant height is very less and tall plant height is more. So now I will explain about that. So this is the point. So tall plant height. What is the height of the tall plant? So tall plant height is 6 to 7 feet. 6 to 7 feet, that is the tall plant height. And what is the dwarf plant height? Dwarf plant height is only 0.75 to 1 feet. Dwarf plant height is 0.75 to 1 feet height. And the tall plant height is 6 to 7 feet. Tall plant height is 6 to 7 feet. Okay, so suppose capital T plant. What is the height of this plant? 6 to 7 feet. What is the height of capital T small t? This is also 6 to 7 feet. So intermediate character is not produced. Intermediate character means between the tall and dwarf. Suppose the height of the plant is 3 to 4 feet means that is called intermediate character. So in Mendel experiments, intermediate character never produced. So it produced the tall plants. So capital T, same height. Capital T, small t also same height. Then small t. So the small t height is 0.75 to 1 feet. Okay, so this is the height of 3 different plants. So what topic I going to discuss next? Did you remember? At the beginning of the class, I've written on board. What I've written? First concept is monohybrid cross or inheritance of one gene. So the second concept is factor. Okay, so based on these observations, based on the inheritance of one gene observations, otherwise based on the monohybrid cross observations. once better to check camera. Okay, so factor means based on these observations, something stably passed unchanged from parents to progeny. Okay, so based on these observations, something stably passed from parents to progeny. So based on these observations, something stably passed unchanged from parents to progeny. What is that something? Okay, so Mendel proposed, based on the monohybrid cross observations or inheritance of one gene observations, something stably passed and unchanged from parents to the progeny. So something is passing from the parents to the progeny based on the monohybrid cross experiments. So what is that something? So Mendel proposed that something is called factors. Mendel said that something is factor. Okay, now we call that is a gene. Okay, so based on these observations, Mendel proposed something stably passed unchanged from parents to the progeny. So Mendel said that something is the factor. So now we call that factor is a gene. Okay, so this is about factor. So understand what is factor. So actually Mendel not utilized this factor term. This factor term is utilized by some other scientist, but Johanson utilized factor. So the factor term is utilized by the Johanson. So in NCERT book they given the factor proposed by Mendel, but factor is actually not proposed by the Mendel, that is proposed by the Johanson. So based on the monohybrid cross observations, Mendel proposed something is stably passed from parents to the progeny. That something is called factor. Now we are saying that is the gene. So gene or factor. So that is responsible for the transformation of characters from parents to the progeny. Okay, so this is about factor. So next we will discuss about gene. Now we are calling that factor is a gene. So what is gene? What is the difference? Any difference is there between the factor or gene, or both are same? So what is the meaning of gene? Gene, it is a unit of inheritance. It is a unit of inheritance. Gene is a unit of inheritance, means the characters is transferred from parents to progeny with the help of the genes. So it is called, it is a unit of inheritance. So what is the location of gene? Gene located in DNA. So again this DNA located in chromosomes. So finally we can say the genes located in the chromosomes or DNA is located in the chromosomes. So what is gene? Gene is a segment of DNA. So gene is a segment of DNA. So see here, gene, it is a unit of inheritance. It is a functional unit of the inheritance. Not only unit of inheritance, gene is a functional unit of the inheritance. Gene is a functional unit of inheritance. So gene is a functional unit of inheritance. Okay, so this gene is located in the DNA. Gene located in the DNA. So DNA located in the chromosomes. Okay, again the gene is a segment of DNA. Okay, so see here. So the gene responsible for the transformation of characters from parents to progeny. Because of that, this is called functional unit of the inheritance. What is the location of the gene? The gene is located in the DNA. So part of the DNA is called gene. So gene is a segment of the DNA. So DNA again located in the chromosomes. So suppose if you take, this is the chromosome. So the chromosome contains DNA. So this is the DNA. So what is the location of DNA? So this blue color, this is DNA. So red color, this is the chromosome. Okay, then what is gene? So gene means it is segment of the DNA. Segment of the DNA is called small segment. Okay, so segment of the DNA is called gene. Segment of DNA. Segment of DNA is called gene. Okay, so segment of DNA is called gene. Okay, so clear about this concept, what is gene? Okay, so this is about genes. Then next concept, so factors completed, genes completed, then alleles. So now we will discuss about alleles. So what is the difference between the alleles and genes? So both are same or any difference is there? So now we will discuss about alleles. Definitely difference is present. If difference is not present means different term is also not required. So alleles. What is alleles? So in last class also I given information about alleles. So different forms of same gene or different forms of the same gene or the gene which code for alternate traits. The genes which code for alternate traits, that is called gene. So alleles means different forms of the same gene or the gene which code for alternate traits is called allele. Suppose gene for plant height. Okay, so gene for the plant height, and this gene for the plant height, it contains two alleles. What is that alleles? Gene for plant height alleles are capital T and small t. Gene for plant height alleles are capital T and small t. Okay, so two alleles is present for the same gene. What is that gene? Gene for the plant height. So how many alleles is present for this plant height? Two alleles. So these two alleles is same form or different form? So different forms of the same gene. So capital T is one allele and small t is one allele. So different forms of the same gene. That is same gene means height. For height of the plant, capital T is the one allele and small t is the one allele. For height of the plant. So different forms of the same gene are the gene which code for alternate traits, that is called allele. Okay, so suppose see here, I will write chromosome. So this is one chromosome. Okay, so this is chromosome. Then I will write another chromosome also. So alleles is present in homologous chromosomes or non-homologous chromosomes. So see here, so capital T is present in this position, capital T is present in this position. Okay, so capital T present in positions, same positions. The capital T is present in the same positions but in the different chromosomes. So the capital T's, so two capital T. So the two chromosomes are called homologous chromosomes. These two chromosomes are called homologous chromosomes. Homologous chromosomes means same type of chromosomes. So how many chromosomes present in human beings? 23 pairs of the chromosomes. So in that first pair of chromosomes is called homologous chromosomes. Second pair of the chromosomes is called homologous chromosomes. Third pair of the chromosomes is called homologous chromosomes. Like that and so on, like 20th chromosome. That is, the pair of the 20th chromosomes is called homologous chromosomes. Okay, so same number and same type of the chromosomes is called homologous chromosomes. So the chromosomes belongs to the same number and same type is called homologous chromosomes. Homologous chromosomes. What is homologous chromosomes? The chromosomes belongs to same number and structure. That kind of chromosomes is called homologous chromosomes. So example 1, X chromosomes, both are called homologous chromosomes because X chromosomes, two X chromosomes belongs to the same number and two X chromosomes having a same kind of structure and morphology. Because of that, the XX chromosomes are called homologous chromosomes. So example number 2. So example number 2, that is 21st chromosome from the mother plus 21st chromosome from the father. So these are called homologous chromosomes. Okay. So then non-homologous chromosomes. Non-homologous. What is the meaning of non-homologous chromosomes? So that is 21st chromosome, okay, and 23rd chromosomes. This is called non-homologous chromosomes. So the chromosomes belongs to the different number and different structure is called non-homologous chromosomes. So the chromosomes belongs to the different number and different structure. That kind of chromosomes is called non-homologous chromosomes. So suppose see here, 21st chromosome and 23rd chromosome. These are called non-homologous chromosomes. Why this 21st chromosome and 23rd chromosomes are called non-homologous chromosomes? Because number is different. So this chromosome number is 21st. This chromosome number is 23rd. So the chromosomes belongs to the same number. These chromosomes belongs to the different number, different structure and different morphology. That kind of chromosomes is called non-homologous chromosomes. The chromosomes belongs to the different number, different morphology and different structure. That is called non-homologous chromosomes. Example 21st chromosome and 23rd chromosome. These are called non-homologous chromosomes. So these are example 1. And example 2, non-homologous chromosomes, example 2, X and Y chromosomes. These are called non-homologous chromosomes because X chromosome number is different and Y chromosome number is different. Again, the X chromosome and Y chromosome both have different structure, different morphology and different function. So because of that, X and Y chromosomes are called non-homologous chromosomes. So clear about this homologous and non-homologous. So now tell me, these two are red and blue chromosomes are homologous or non-homologous? Homologous chromosomes. So the genes is present on homologous chromosomes or non-homologous chromosomes? Genes are alleles. So this is the important points. Alleles present on same loci of homologous chromosomes. Okay, so alleles present on same loci of homologous chromosomes. Same loci means, what is the meaning of loci? So again I will give another important term, that is loci. What is the meaning of loci? Position of allele on chromosome. Position of allele on chromosome is called loci. So gene loci or allele loci. So loci is same or different? So capital T is present in this position, capital T is present in this position. Both are present in same location or different location? Same location. So capital T and capital T both are present in same location but present in different chromosomes. Okay, so different chromosomes but location is same. So same gene loci. So the alleles is present on the homologous chromosomes. At the same time the alleles is present on the same position in the chromosomes. So this is about alleles. So I hope you can understand the concept of alleles, concept of the homologous chromosomes and concept of the loci. So if you are unable to understand any concept, comment in the comment section. I will clarify your doubts. Okay, so thank you very much for watching my channel. All the best. So about this class, I will provide notes in the description box. So check that description box about notes. So wait, one more concept is there, that is Punnett square method. So this also I will finish this in this lecture only. Punnett square method. So sequence of concepts. So students, see sequence of concepts, that is next concept is Punnett square method. Punnett square method. So what is the meaning of Punnett square method? So it is a graphical representation of possibility of the gametes and possibility of the zygotes is called Punnett square method. Graphical representation of possibility of gametes, and possibility of zygotes. Possibility of the gametes and possibility of the zygotes. Okay, so with the help of this method we can represent the possibility of the gametes, means the parent will produce which kind of gametes, that we can represent with the help of the Punnett square method. And during the cross, how many combinations of the zygotes, possibility of the combinations of the zygotes produced, that is also we can possibility of combinations of zygotes also we can predict with the help of the Punnett square method. So the Punnett square method developed by this method developed by British genetist Reginald. So where I will write in downside, British genetist Reginald C. Punnett. British genetist Reginald C. Punnett. Okay, so the Punnett square method developed by the British genetist Reginald C. Punnett. So British genetist Reginald C. Punnett developed this Punnett square method. Okay, so in this process we can write the possibility of the gametes. So where we will write the possibility of the gametes? Gametes. So which kind of gametes? Two kinds of gametes is there. So male gametes and female gametes. Male gametes and female gametes. So where we will write the male gamete and where we will write the female gamete. So male gamete will write in the left column. Male gamete, we will write the male gamete on the left column, and female gametes we will write in the right column. Okay, so female gametes we will write in the right column, and female gametes, this is the male gametes. So where we will write the male gamete? Male gamete is need to write in the top position. Male gamete will write in the top position, and where we will write the female gametes? So female gametes we will write in the left column. Mn. So female gametes we will write in the left column, and male gametes we will write in the top position. Like I will represent with the help of this box. So suppose this box is there. So in this box male gametes we will write like this is arrow is there, that is called male gamete. Okay, then female gametes where we will write the female gametes. So female gametes we will write in the left column. Okay, so male gametes, where we have written the male gametes in the top position, and where we will write the female gametes we will write in the left column. So this is the left column. Female gametes written in the left column, male gametes is written on the top position. So next point number 4, zygotes. Okay, so the zygotes represented in the Punnett square box in the form of a square output box. Zygotes represented in the form of square output forms. Square output forms. Okay, so the zygotes represented in the form of square output forms. So zygotes is represented in the form of the square output forms. Okay, so square output forms means, so I will show here. So this is the Punnett square. So in this, so where we will write the male gametes? So capital T, suppose small t, and this is a male gamete, so we are writing capital T like this. So here see, capital T, small t. So this is the female gametes. Where we've written this female gametes? The female gametes is written in the left side, and male gametes is written in the top side. Male gamete written in the top side. Okay, and female gametes written in the left side, and it will produce as a zygotes. Capital T is one zygote, capital T small t is one zygote, capital T small t is one zygote. So small t is one zygote. So the zygotes is represented in the form of the square output forms. So this is called square output forms. So totally how many square output forms is present in this diagram? So totally 4 square output forms is present. So the zygotes is represented in the form of the square output forms. Okay, so this is the representation of the Punnett square method. So in this Punnett square method, if you see this diagram, so I will not erase this diagram because we are discussing about this diagram only. So in this diagram, how many capital T combinations? So how to calculate the possibility of the gametes and zygotes? So suppose, so in this Punnett square method, this is the monohybrid cross. In monohybrid cross, in monohybrid cross, what is the possibility of the gametes in monohybrid cross? 2 power n is the possibility of the gametes. What is the meaning of 2 power n? 2 power n means 2 power 1 means 2 gametes. 2 types of gametes produced in the monohybrid. 2 types of gametes. Okay, so the formula for calculating the type of the gametes 2 power n. 2 power n means in monohybrid cross 2 types of gametes is produced. One is capital T and another one is small t. So next another one, that is types of gametes, 2 types of gametes. Dihybrid cross. So how many types of gametes produced in dihybrid cross? You can apply the formula 2 power n. So 2 power n for dihybrid cross, 2 square. 2 square means 4 types of gametes. 4 types of gametes produced in the dihybrid cross. So in dihybrid cross, how many types of gametes is produced? In dihybrid cross, how many types of gametes produced? So in dihybrid cross, totally 4 types of gametes produced in dihybrid cross. Okay, so this is the formulas for monohybrid and dihybrid. So trihybrid, in trihybrid, how many types of gametes is produced? 2 cube means 8 types of the gametes produced in the trihybrid cross. So how many types of gametes produced in trihybrid cross? 8 types of the gametes produced in the trihybrid cross. So this is the types of the gametes. So and another one, that is possibility of the zygotes. Possibility of the zygotes in monohybrid, trihybrid, dihybrid and trihybrid. So in monohybrid cross, so the possibility of the that is zygotes. How many types of zygotes is produced in monohybrid cross? You can use the formula, that is 2 square. 2 square means 4 types of zygotes. 4 types of zygotes produced in the monohybrid cross. So dihybrid cross. So in dihybrid cross, how many types of zygotes is produced? In dihybrid cross, 2 cube. So 2 cube means that is 8 types of zygotes. Sorry, so formula is little bit 4 power 1 and this is 4 square. Okay, so 4 square means how many zygotes produced in dihybrid cross? Totally 4 square means 16 types of the zygotes produced in the dihybrid cross. And in trihybrid cross, so in trihybrid cross, how many types of zygotes is produced? 4 cube. So 4 cube means 64 types of 16 zygotes and 64 zygotes. Okay, so in monohybrid cross, so how many zygotes? So 4 power 1. So see here, monohybrid cross 1, 2, 3, 4. So totally 4 zygotes is producing. So in monohybrid cross, the formula is 4 power n. 4 power n means, so in monohybrid cross, the types of the zygotes 4 power 1 means 4 types of zygotes is produced. In dihybrid cross, 4 square means 16 zygotes is produced. In trihybrid cross, 4 cube means 64 zygotes produced. So this is the types of the number of zygotes produced in the monohybrid, dihybrid and trihybrid cross. So now we discussing about Punnett square method and monohybrid cross. So in this Punnett square method or monohybrid cross, how many capital T means if you take male gametes. So male gametes, how many types of male gametes is present in this? Students tell me. So capital T and small t. So again, how many female gametes? So 50% of the gametes are capital T and 50% of the gametes are small t from the male plant. So like that from the female plant also. So I will use different color. So female parent also. So from this capital T and small t. So 50% of the gametes are capital T and another 50% gametes are small t. So in this process, so this is the female parent. So already you know this symbol for the female, this symbol for the male. So during the combination, so how many combinations is possible? So this is one combination is possible, this is one combination is possible, and this is one combination is possible, and another one, this is one combination is possible. So totally how many combinations is possible? 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 combinations. So 4 combinations means 25% possibility for the formation of the capital T, capital T. 25%. So totally 100%. 4 combinations together is 100%. Each combination is 25%. So in this combination, if you combine this both, then in this combination 25%. Like each combination is 25%. Okay, so each combination is 25% means 25% of the plants capital T and 25% of the plants small t, and again another 25% plants is capital T and another 25% plants is capital T small t. So finally this is 25% and this is 25% and this two together is 50%. Okay, so if you apply this for if you apply this results in the binomial expression means ax plus by whole square. So in this expression 1 by 2 capital T plus 1 by 2 small t whole square. Okay, so whole square means 1 by 2 capital T plus 1 by 2 small t into 1 by 2 capital T plus 1 by 2 small t. So in this combination, see here, so multiply this one with this one. 1 by 2 into 1 by 2 means 1 by 4. So 1 by 4 capital T plus 1 by 2 into 1 by 2 small t means 1 by 4 capital T small t plus again take this one. So multiply this one with this one. So 1 by 2 small t into 1 by 2 capital T. So 1 by 4 capital T small t plus multiply 1 by 2 capital small t with 1 by 2 small t means 1 by 4 small t. So totally how we can write this expression? So we can write this expression like 1 by 4 capital T plus 1 by 2 capital T small t plus 1 by 2 small t. Okay, so 1 by 4 capital T, 1 by 2 capital T small t, 1 by 2 small t. So this is called binomial expression. So the ratio is same, 1 is to 2 is to 1. So this is about Punnett square method. So students, if you have any confusions or if you have any doubts, reply your doubts in the chat box. I will give reply to your questions. So I will provide notes and multiple choice questions in the description box. So download the notes, study that notes and practice that description question, practice that multiple choice questions. Okay, so then you can get good command on these concepts. So thank you very much for watching my channel. This is about like monohybrid cross, factors, genes, alleles and Punnett square method. So share this video to your friends, subscribe my channel. Thank you very much for watching my channel. All the best.